A great meeting point, convenient light meals, hot and cold beverages, or a quick snack on the go. What's your order for the day? We don't just say, we do. It's the Stain City way.
Good afternoon. It is good to have you joining us again here on Real Talk. Now, when you take into consideration how successful, talented, poised, and alluring our guest is today, it's hard to believe that she once suffered from an almost crippling amount of lack in self-confidence. Her mother is famed radio presenter Dineo Moeketsi, and together with her grandmother, who anchored the Kwatema household she grew up in, they cheered her on in her ambition to make a footprint in the entertainment industry. She burst onto the It Girl scene. I almost said IT, and I was like, no, I haven't seen it with a computer. She burst onto the It Girl scene as an OX's presenter and held it down for 4 seasons as one of V Entertainment's faces. From drama series on the small screen such as Soul City, Jacob's Cross, and The Queen, to the big screens in movies such as the rom-com Mrs. Right Guy as the leading lady. And a birdie tells us that there's another movie loading very soon. She's without a doubt earned her stripes and put a solid talent stamp in her name in entertainment. And all that I've mentioned merely is the tip of the iceberg, because she sings as well, okay? Singing is her other passion, in case you didn't know that. I'm sure you've guessed it by now. We are hanging out with the lovely Dineo Moeketsi. Welcome.
Yay.
And the crowd goes, wow. Now, I remember you as a 17-year-old.
Yes.
Coming to the SABC, obviously to visit your mom.
Yes.
And then you would pass Metro FM and you would like put your nose up against the glass. And then you'd come to 5FM and then you'd also put your nose up against the glass. And that's how I met you.
Yes, because I pretty much knew everybody in the building.
You did?
So I was like, why should I feel scum about greeting people?
And also, I think you reached a point where you just didn't sign in anymore.
No.
They were like, it's Dineo. Just get an access card and let's be through with it.
That's so funny. No, I actually did have to sign in. That's why every time she'd bring me to work, she'd say, we have to be early because I have to sign you in.
Oh, because it's a process.
Yes.
The towers.
Oh, man.
It's a process.
Yeah.
And I mean, walking through those corridors and seeing all those people, surely that solidified it in your head at a very young age that this is what you're going to do.
I was 12 when I decided what I wanted to do. Oh. And 12-year-old me was insistent on music.
Oh.
Thoroughly.
So you could sing?
Yes. I discovered at 12 and I knew.
And what was it? Did you sing somewhere and people were like, whoa?
We started out doing choir, and you look up to the other girls who can sing like really, really well.
Yeah.
Then one day, by pure accident, you find out that you can sing, and you go, okay, let me test this out. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not crazy.
Let me just go home to in my room and I'm just
and be
sing.
in the mirror.
Okay, I'm just gonna sing.
Yes, and so then, there was. It's great that I remember their names. There were 2 Mrs. Combrings. Both of them were involved in music. So they started doing the solo singing. I like it. It wasn't necessarily Eisteddfods. They were called something else. And then they said, no, you should come through. And I got to... Was it from the Cinderella movie with Brandy and Whitney?
Oh, yes.
Impossible.
Yes.
I think I had the option of Impossible or something else. I don't remember what the other song was, but I remember I was so obsessed with that movie at the time, and I was like, oh my gosh, great. And yeah, that's when I called my mom. My mom was my first yes.
Yes.
I said to my Mom, I can sing, listen. And my mom said, wow, you can sing. And then I was like, okay, I don't need everybody else to tell me then.
And also your mom knows her music.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could name any song from any era, especially jazz, and she'll tell you what notes they were singing. That it was an A minor, and then in the middle of the song.
No, I can tell you that. She can't tell you that.
Oh, really?
I can tell you that.
Because you trained for that.
Yes, she can't tell you. She can tell you sample the instrumentalists within that space, the album the song comes from.
Your household must be you know, very full of music then with your mom.
It is. I mean, my mom's CD collection was one of the biggest CD collections I ever saw growing up. And that's what sort of informed my taste in music. Even though I was young enough to like the newer things, the younger things, I still would be like this 12-year-old listening to Will Downing. And everybody was like, who's Will Downing? That's right, don't do that. So
The only Will we know is Will Smith.
yeah, exactly, you know. And I still had to get jiggy with it like CD.
Yeah.
And I think my first CD, funny enough, from my mom, took it, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh.
That was my first CD.
Oh.
So
So it's only natural that you go to the National School of Arts then?
yes. But I mean, at first I went to a girls' high school at first, you know, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is for me.
Do they not take the arts as seriously as you would wanted to take it?
They were more an academic school. I'll say that. They were more an academic school. But also I think, I'm going to be very honest with you, there were some struggles of bullying at the time.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you know, you're in the space as a kid where you're trying to hone this creativity that you've got, but you've also got, you know, some challenges because your mom's quite big, and other kids around you don't know how to take that. You know, my mom being first lady breakfast black lady on Kaya at the time was just like a big hoo-ha, and everybody would look at me with this thing. I mean, I remember I even got a statement like, you think you're the only one who has a mother because your mother's famous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it, and this is the thing with bullying with me, it's so far-fetched, I don't get it. So is it like every day, or is it once a week, or is it, you know,
Sure.
what are you careful of?
It just feels like it's never ending for the most part. I mean, you're not going there and you're being pushed around like it's in the movies. It's not like that.
Yes.
But at the same time, amantombazana, abantu abamnyama are very prone to violence. Let me say, the black communities where it's just black people.
So they're used to violence. It's what?
They're used to violence.
Default
so
setting.
then the default setting is, I'm going to threaten you with violence.
Okay.
I had gotten into a few violent altercations once or twice, not at all incited by me, but incited by them.
Yeah.
And as a kid, you feel like, oh, I don't want to bring this drama home. I've got
So you
like
didn't tell your
a
mom?
70-something-year-old great-grandmother that I live with, and she's not trying to be about this life.
Yeah.
So I never really told my mom until I was actually like gutful, until I was like, oh, cool, NSA, all right, they've got music. Okay, I'm going to go audition. It's done. That was the point at which I said to my mom, I want to go to the school. And I sort of had to pitch it to my mom. And I said, this is the reason why. These are the facilities they have. And I think this could work for me. But then I also revealed that it's really not working because I'm constantly tormented for either you, for my looks, for, at the time also puberty and, you know, adolescence is rife. So the boys from the boys' school are attracted to you and those girls don't like it. So yeah, it's weird. You're like in this time warp of like negativity. So I was like, no, Mom, it's about that.
Did your mom try to do anything about it? Okay, yes, she's going to move schools, but just go to the school and be like, how, guys, what kind?
No, I just think I told her it was so far into the end of that period. I didn't even want anybody to come and intervene because I was like, I'm done with these people. I'm not coming back. I will never see them again. So let's just be gone. I mean, one of them, after I'd auditioned and gotten accepted, had said to me, I don't know why you're going to NSA. You can't even sing. I was like, how do I get accepted and I can't sing? How does that work? That's weird.
Oh, children are so silly.
Children are terrible.
And you know what's funny? If your mom had to go to their parents would be like, hi, bo, Utandaga's the sweetest girl in the world.
Never.
They would never know these things. You know, they would never know these things. But you go to school to be absolutely like terrible to somebody else.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And I think when I look back at it and I break down everyone's situation, I go, okay, I see you were in this particular space. I see you were struggling with which clique to be a part of. Thus you fell into the habits of the clique. You know, it's those type of things. And there's other people that want to get onto Facebook and say, hey, girl, how you doing? And I'm just like...
No, we are not going to be friends.
We're not.
We are not going to be friends.
Really not.
Listen, we're just getting started with Dineo, who can't even sing. I can't stop laughing at that. A whole lot more to come. She believes in staying gracious because the best revenge is your paper. I really want to talk about this paper next. We'll be back.
final 2 out of over 3,000 contestants.
Do you know that the people at home watching right now are sitting on the edge of their seats wanting to know who is going to be walking in my shoes? The face of All Access Season 5 is Dineo.
Congratulations, Dineo.
Congratulations!
You're the new host of
You
All
are the
Access.
new face of All Access.
And welcome back to Real Talk on SABC3. The stage is yours. It was on OXS, as you've just seen, that the real journey started for actress, musician, and presenter Dineo Moeketsi. She beat many other hopefuls, Nandi, that was Nandi, in the talent search competition, and saw her star rise very quickly to become our link to Hollywood, giving us one-on-one exclusive interviews with the likes of Trey Songz, Bruno Mars, Mary J. Blige, and a whole lot more. Bruno Mars, who is now like
The
world's-
hugest superstar.
like the biggest superstar. You're just like, oh, Bruno,
Dudes.
you know, this is you. Were you ever like felt like, oh my word, I'm out of my depth here?
You know, I was, in as much as I had no, you know, I wasn't image conscious. I mean, I was conscious of the fact that I'm on TV and I need to look good.
Yeah.
I didn't have a voice necessarily in terms of style or clothing or whatever, but I was always confident in my intelligence. Because they sat me down when they took me to LA. They said, what are you going to bring that's different? I said, I'm intelligent. I can put this together and make it my own.
Yeah.
And with every interview, I wrote the scripts, I did the research. Every time, from day one, when we did it, whether it was ad-libbing an activity or whatever, I always made sure that I had structured it and nobody else had structured it for me. So I never really felt out of my depth because I knew where I was going with it, and I knew that I wanted to have more than just the on-the-surface conversation. I did not like, at the time, I did not like the interviews that just never got anywhere, that never felt like you really got to know the
person,
artist. So for me, I wanted everybody at home to feel like, damn, I know a different side of Snoop Dogg today. Or, you know, I could have never imagined that somebody from South Africa is sitting with so-and-so and they're having such an intimate conversation, you know? So I never, and not in a cocky way, I was just really sure of the of what I can bring to the table.
And I know, like with traveling overseas,
Yeah.
because our parents didn't, you know, do it
Yeah.
at our age. To them, it's a big thing, and then even more so to your grandmother.
Yeah.
Like, did your grandmother not want to do things like slaughter a sheep before you go? Like, because was she not panicking?
Yeah.
Was she not stuffing money in your bag, like
Yeah.
in case anything happens?
Let me tell you who got this ball rolling of nice life things. My grandmother's mother, my great-grandmother,
Yeah.
who they raised me together
Your
because my mother was
great-grandmother
working around the country.
and your grandmother,
My
okay.
great-grandmother and my grandmother. And my mother, you know, I'd be with my mom around school holidays. My great-grandmother used to make sure that with two of her besties, they would travel somewhere in the world. She loved to travel.
Okay.
She had been to what is apparently Jesus's grave.
Oh, in Israel, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
She had been to different types and sorts of countries. You know, I think one of their last trips was to New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Her and her besties.
Her and her besties, the three of them in Sishweshwe type dresses in New York, white hair clad, and you're just like,
Were any of them ever married?
yes. My great-grandmother lost my great-grandfather in 97.
Okay.
And her bestie, I think she lost her husband, it was probably soon after. And
So give the bucket list things. They're
Bucket list
They're like,
things.
yes, in there,
Yes.
You know,
They
we
gave
may
themselves
be
a nice life.
bereaved, but we're not dead, so we're just gonna do it as well.
exactly.
Okay.
And I think the third one, her husband, like, yeah, something happened during apartheid.
Yeah.
So they'd gather, and I'd be so jealous because she had budgeted for herself, babes. There's no passengers that I'm taking with me. I've budgeted for myself. I'm going with my girlfriends. You must stay home, relax, chapanana. So, and I was like, okay, I think my love for the finer things in life got started by that, by being in an environment that never felt like I was in the township. We were living in the township, but my grandmother's house is beautiful. It's not the fanciest house out there, but she made sure that she planted roses. There's a peach tree. There used to be a sugarcane bush. There used to be a grapevine in the back. So there's just all these things that you'd never really find in a township home. But I sit there and I go, no, man, I don't feel like I grew up in the township. And that was the beauty of it, that wherever I went in the world, I didn't feel like, yo, exaplasia, no. I never felt this thing. I mean, the only time I ever felt weird and, oh my God, the world is so huge, was the first time I went overseas, which was when I went to go study in New York.
Oh, when you went to the New York Jazz School?
New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music. So the New School is an entire university.
I know my sister actually goes there.
Yeah,
I know. I didn't realize that they.
She goes to Parsons, yes?
Yeah, they have the jazz vibe.
Yes, they have the jazz vibe.
So what, you felt like a plus yappy then?
A bit. Because as well, I was not secure financially.
Oh.
I'd gotten the acceptance and hook a crook. Me, I was going.
Okay.
And prior to that, I'd been rejected by the same school for a different semester. So now, once I'd been accepted for the next semester, I was like, I'm going. We're just all hands on deck. We'll see to finish. So
you're basically in another country, in another city, and you're that young, because you were 19.
Yes, I was 19.
Yes, you were 19.
Yeah.
And you're just out there making ends meet.
Yeah, I remember there were days where I would have, I think about last $5, $1 note, and about, let's see, quarters. Yeah, 4 times 4, about 16 quarters, and a Metro card. So I put the money into the Metro card so that I can take the train.
Yeah,
because I was living in Queens. So I'd take the train to Manhattan. What would be my lunch would be, I'd make sure that it's the $1 hot dog. That would be my lunch, or a bagel.
And it's basically all you've eaten.
That's all I've eaten. I'd go home. I mean, at home, there'd be something, there'd be cereal. But, varsity is a long day. You get home at night sometimes. So, yeah, the dollar hot dog. I mean, there was a point in time where I ate chocolate that I was supposed to send to my aunt in Hawaii because she missed lunch bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, sorry, babes, I was hungry. For a whole September, I ate chocolate every day because I had no money for food.
So when did you go overseas for the first time where you were like, okay, now I'm balling? When
I got the O-Axis gig.
No, but outside of going for work, just by yourself now, where you're like,
by myself.
I am going to take myself, like my great-grandmother used to, over the seas, and I'll be balling.
You're gonna make me have a truth moment. A lot, if not most, of my overseas trips have been paid for by people I'm working for.
So you've never just gone by yourself and live here and like go. Oh, but wait, sometimes when you go, then you extend it.
I'd go and come back.
Hi, Dineo. What are
I
you
know,
doing?
right? I know. You know what? The issue is being the extroverted introvert. You get into a space and people will freak you out because there's so many. And that's why New York freaked me out in the beginning. There's about billions and billions of people there. There was snow up to my knees because I'm short. I mean, I may love heels, but I'm short. So I'd be walking through snow up to my knees. I didn't have the right type of clothing for me to survive minus
There's no
18.
underwear, there's no underwear.
Yes. I was like, minus 18 degrees. What is that? That never happened in Mzansi. So it was completely like, I don't know what's happening here. So now, the time at which I felt like I was balling, I was living in West LA. I had a car. I took myself everywhere. I'd shop for whatever. That's how I became addicted to online shopping. Because I'd sit there in my apartment in West LA. I was close to the Grove. So that, I was living good in my opinion. I was like, yeah, man.
I'm actually looking forward to the first, I don't know, I want to know the destination you will pick for yourself.
It's 5 different, not 5, could be 8.
Okay, hold that thought. When we come back, Dineo is going to tell us the day she decides to go to OR Tambo by herself with her bags, where the destination is going to be. She says she's got 8 places, but really want to know 3, right? So come back to us.
Not big. Alcohol again. Antonette's always serving up for white people. Because
by the time we're done with you, all of this will be over.
I mean, obviously, when it was ngalo.
Remember, what a gifted B-movie actor you are.
Lakini. Kanti. Kukhulunywa ngani vele like guys? Bizwele na khuluma phela mfana.
This girl tried to sell details about a Colombia context to Skumbuzo.
Oh. Twetweza sitwetwe.
Lana naye. Mama nzola la qipa endoda. Ngoba la liqama ba ngoba la befunela nomuntu wami. Canomsukela.
Khuluma. Yes, uphenduka isdom. Why don't you just admit that you wanted a backup plan if the business failed?
Yes, I am tired of you.
Oh,
All right, enough.
You're watching Real Talk, and today we have the lovely Dineo Moeketsi joining us. The actress in her has evolved over the years with roles in award-winning shows like Soul City Scandal, Jacob's Cross, and if you met the real Dineo, you would know that she's a far cry from the character she plays. She plays the cunning Gia in The Queen, and Gia is evil, just in her eyes. You can't even eat without looking evil, right?
I don't, I've come to love Kia so much. I don't necessarily see her as evil, but now there's some dark things that are being infiltrated into her life. I think she can be very cutthroat.
Yeah, because as the child, right? Because if you in a TV show, and your mother is there, right?
Yes.
And you have family there and uncles, yet you always break through with your evilness. Girl, you are evil. Like that's all I'm saying.
I don't think so. I just think she's had no well, at that point in her life that everybody just saw, she had no patience for rubbish because everybody was going through this being thrown again from a dizzying height. Your father just got killed.
Yeah. So everyone's
no less at your wedding.
Yeah.
So everybody's trying to grieve, but also trying to save the business. But also, it's just all these things, and it's a drug family on top of everything
and trying to stay
else.
on top as well.
Yes.
Like because your dad was like this mogul of a person. It's like, okay, who's gonna run it now?
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, no, she had a short fuse, but it became so much shorter because she didn't know how to process the anger.
It always fascinates me the way actors speak about their characters. Yeah. It's like they always speak about like somebody else. and
you have to make the distinction.
And for us, it's like, girl, don't play. We know it's you. Like,
never days.
And I promise, they're like, even when you interview movie actors, they're like, yeah, in this movie, he has this journey of, you're just like, man. Just be like, in the movie, I am this. They're like, no. So do you really make sure that there is like arm's length vibes between you and your character?
Yes, because you can't take her home. You can't. I mean, imagine if you were always this person to everyone. You'd be a menace to society. Well, just in terms of gear, you really do need to debrief so as to, I think for me, create the textures and tones. Because then you are sitting down and breaking down which decisions to make for when. Because then if there's no difference between you and the character, it flatlines. And it starts to show with people who have played a character for so long that they've become the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's easy then to get typecast. Yep. Because then the next role, you're going to be typecast as this person.
Absolutely.
Because that's what you're also comfortable with.
Absolutely.
So you spoke about rejection.
Yes.
During the break, you and I were talking about rejection. Did you ever experience rejection in the industry? Because it also seems like, you went for OXS and you got it. And then afterwards you were on V Entertainment for 4 years. Yeah. And you were almost like the head girl of that, if I may, if I may say it. Yeah. Like it was like, okay, well, Dineo is here, so it means things are smooth. Yeah. So have you ever experienced rejection in the industry?
Within that very V Entertainment, I was being rejected quite a lot for acting jobs.
Also, you were trying?
I was trying. And I was either being given something very small or nothing at all. Nothing at all for different reasons. You work for a different broadcaster. You're too pretty for the role. And I'm so glad that, that whole thing has been demystified because somebody's going to say, no, I think we should, something around people see your personality and think you should play your personality and you won't be able to play anything but. And I've always been one to go against the grain. Because I like a creative challenge. I think that's what my teacher in matric said to me. She said, if you're not challenged, you get bored.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always just thought, all right, if people are going to shut the doors, there's going to come a time where I'll be able to prove, but it was painful. 4 years of a lot of pain. There was a time when I got a role on a Friday and lost it on Monday.
Oh, good heavens. What role is this? Please, spill.
I can't say,
You can. Well, don't tell us why you lost it, because that's the politics, but I just want to know.
No, I can tell you why I lost it. I just can't tell you which show it was.
Oh, damn it. Okay, tell us one of them.
I lost it because I'd done the audition. It went very well. The production company gave me the gig. The commissioning editor said, no, give her something that's more like her.
Oh.
And I went. And they were like, I'm not even sure if she can speak Zulu. I'm like, I'm multilingual.
Oh,
people were just not giving the chance to see. Not at all. I was like, I can speak such good Zulu.
Okay, give us a role that you can speak about that you lost. Because I want to now put you, and I'm pretty sure everyone else at home wants to do the same thing. We want to now be able to put you
see now,
in that role.
You're going to make it seem like I've been holding on to things.
No, you're just talking.
Let's.
I mean, like, for instance, I went for the Idols gig, and I didn't get it. When Liesl got it. And I'm okay with telling people that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I'd like to host Idols, because I used to love Anton Dake from the UK one. So ever since I watched that and started at 8, I was just like, I will host Idols one day.
Things can change. Things can change. Don't laugh at the universe.
No, but it's fine, you know.
Gosh, what was it? Come on, Dineo. You can figure this out. Because there's been so many, I've kind of gotten over it.
But your diary knows, dear diary, today I didn't get the Generations gig.
When I took my power back, in terms of the bullying, I stopped writing in diaries.
Oh, really?
But wait, let me figure this out.
Come, spill the
Oh my God,
spill the tea.
I auditioned for, no, but they never told me at Generations what I was auditioning for.
Oh, so you auditioned for Generations?
I've auditioned for Generations.
Isitingo?
Yes. I had auditioned, Atando's wife got the role.
For Isitingo?
For Stingo.
Fikile.
Oh, Atando's wife got the role. And sheesh, man. See, now I'm gonna forget.
So when you don't get these roles, when you watch them, are you like, I would have done that line differently?
You do that. Every actor does that. They must not lie to you. They're gonna get up here and go, no, I congratulate them because I send them great vibes.
As a thespian, if one of us wins, we all win.
Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Okay, you do, because we all assess each other. Even if you're watching an international show or a film.
I know.
You go, the execution of that line, I'm not sure about
Babe, the way when I used to watch Idols, and then I'm like, Liesl, that was flat, girl. I would have done this and I would have done that. You know what I'm saying?
It happens.
And then Proverb took over, and I'm like, my ancestors don't sleep. Stay with us. Wow. We're talking all things film with Dineo after this quick break.
Oh my gosh.
I knew that men were dogs, all of them.
Something about you tells me that you're the type to go for exactly what she wants.
Gosh, where do they get these? An onslaught of pathetic lines.
Yo, one size fits all.
Actually, I have a few questions for you before you propose to her.
Propose?
When are you free to meet her parents? They're filthy rich, by the way.
No.
What? Keep walking, dog.
Just, cautious. Or maybe it's being deceived.
Yeah, right. Chicken.
Do you think every single man out there is out to get with you?
Are you saying you don't?
Girls, this one is exactly that. Lekene kamola, you won't check over.
Say. You asked me, I think someone likes you.
Why don't you come with me and let me show you something?
Show me what?
Just trust me.
There are days, though, when everything falls into place in a series of events so ridiculous.
My sister, no,
that if you paid attention, you'd realize you're hurtling straight into the arms of your destiny.
There's always a price to pay. You've just got to be bold enough to pay.
don't like chicken.
We love chicken, we're black.
And welcome back. In 2015, Dineo Moeketsi hit the jackpot when she nabbed the role of the leading lady Gugu in the rom-com film Mrs. Right Guy. She starred alongside Tapalo Mokoena as well as Tano Tabudi Tabete, telling the story of an it girl who had every girl wanting her affection. She then meets Sipho, the one who sweeps her off her feet and proposes only to leave her penniless on an island. All this happens in the first 10 minutes of the movie, mind you. And after that, we watch Gugu dust herself off, rebuild her life, and learn to trust again. Like, how big are you into this movie thing now? Because it seems like every time there's a movie, your name is like floating in the air.
Never days. I wish it was that way. But I'm completely into film and television. A lot of actors, you'll ask them, are you the theater, film, or television? And some people will be like, theater's my thing. Other people will be like, nope, just TV. I am film and television. The challenge thing, again. Yeah.
So when is this new one coming out?
Which new one, babes?
Is there no new movie coming?
No, we had to put it aside because times clashed.
Times clashed with the Queen?
Yeah. There was a big storyline on the Queen that was happening at the same time, so...
So you put it aside and not necessarily find someone else to play your role?
No, they found someone else.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's all right.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're crossing our fingers now for something else.
Yeah, but I mean, if that door is open, it means it will always be open.
Yes.
That's how I feel about life.
Yeah.
If you lose something that you really wanted to do, it just means that it's still lingering in the atmosphere. It's gonna come back.
I really hope so.
So would you ever direct?
Sure. Let me not say I would direct just yet. I think I could produce and assist to write. I mean, some friends and I are kind of trying to put something together right now.
Were you writing on it?
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. You know, my friend's the head writer, and he's basically putting it all down. And I call him and I say, okay, this would be a great storyline. Let's do this and this and this and this and this. So yeah, I have a passion for creating more than I want to. I like it when actors are so giving that they just be and the scene comes to life. If I'm put in the position where I have to tell you what to do, I feel like there's a possibility I could lose interest.
Really?
Yeah, like I'll leave you to your devices. Show me what you can do.
But isn't that directing?
No. I mean, yeah, but you know, the director has to achieve the objective of storyline, scene, moment, but also try to make it look amazing on camera, you know, and then say, actually, just instead of doing it like this, can you rather give it to me in this way? But not to be spoon feeding you, to rather give you a different perspective as to more,
But the way you can break it down in definitions kind of means that you know exactly what is needed, therefore it means you could do it.
It's stressful, Lando.
Really?
Hi, guys. It's too stressful. Because, you know, everything is dependent on you in that moment. Everybody's listening to, okay, what must we do? Now, crew of 50, and you're just like...
Is this the introverted extrovert coming out here where
Absolutely.
you don't want to be the center of attention?
Well, yes. Yes. And there are moments, I mean, you want to be center of attention when you're in front of the camera.
Yeah.
When you get behind the camera, it's like, wait, can we just not do this thing?
I think it's fascinating. You must be the first actress to come on to this couch and say you don't ever want to direct. All of them, every actress I've spoken to has got aspirations of directing. But that means that you know yourself. You're just like, I have no need to direct. I'm fine. This is where I am.
I'm fascinated with the stories that must be told, coming out of this country in particular. I really don't subscribe to, okay, we are subscribing to this genre right now in the industry and we must just make this type of show or movie. I think we are very much capable to create something along the lines of a Game of Thrones because we're so rich in history on this continent, not even just this country. You know, there's mini-series that can be executed. There can be movies, whatever you name it. television movies or whatever
Yeah.
you'd like, just based on the history. You can make it a little bit of truth and a little bit fictitious.
Yeah.
But we've left it to, okay, just apartheid is important.
Yeah, oh, I know that.
And I'm like, there are absolutely tons of stories to tell within the apartheid spectrum.
Yeah.
But when are we telling the stories of when black people had kingdoms, you know, the chiefs of lands.
Or the mom with the twins, and the one twin disappears at birth, and they think they're dead, and the twin comes back to claim the throne. Yeah, we can really be crazy.
We really can. There's so many, there's things that you think are folklores, you know, that you hear as a black person in this day and age, and you go, really, did that happen?
That should
and
be
it
a
did
script.
happen. That
Yeah.
absolutely should be a story. And I really hate this thing of, if we want shock value, we run to witchcraft. We then find ourselves in the position where people want to mix healers and witches and make them one thing, and that's not the case. When do we demystify that entire thing? Do you know what I'm saying?
But it's big. You know what it is? It's like, you
It's a
know,
mammoth task.
Yeah, it's if you see, like, even with the Americans, the movies.
Yeah.
When they were talking aliens, everybody was talking aliens,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because that's what sells. When
Yeah.
they were talking terrorism,
Yeah.
right? Then everybody's talking
Yeah.
terrorism. And you even look at, like, the periods, because in 1980, in American movies, the bad guys were Russian because of the Cold War.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
And then, like, I mean, prior to that, the bad guys were the Asians because of things like Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
And then cut to now, the bad guys are always Arabic, or, you know, because that's
I
who
hear
they're
you.
scared of.
I hear you.
So people just, they work at the current fear.
Yeah.
What's the current fear?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna sell.
Yeah, but you see now, I want to bring it down to our country in particular,
Yeah.
where we have channels that at particular hours don't have content that's current enough. I understand there's news and all those types of things, but I need for there to be more than just what's there right now. During the day, what is the content that's being watched? And I understand in certain spaces, viewers aren't home, but we also find viewers are watching in the mornings. Those repeats are being watched. So I don't want to have people, that's how people get tired of some telenovelas, because that's all we're watching. You know, we just want to dig into this thing until we get tired of it. But even when we're tired of it, we've got no choice but to just stick with it, because, hey,
That's what they
who
offer.
else is going to offer us something else?
So that's why you're not gonna direct, you're gonna write, you're gonna create.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. We're gonna take an ad break. When we come back, you still owe me your 3 destinations around the
Yes.
I haven't forgotten, girls. Think I've forgotten? Never forget. After this, we get a little taste from Dineo's singing side. Y'all wanna hear this? We even have the video.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, welcome back. And that little treat was a snippet of what our guest Dineo Moeketsi can do when you give her a mic. The girl can sing. It just makes you wonder, why has she not recorded a full album yet?
Why you gotta dig in there?
Yeah, why? What's going on? I mean, everybody's singing now. Everybody's singing, everybody's collabing. People who can put 2 notes together are out there giving us music.
2 notes. I am an intense perfectionist when it comes to my music. I've created music only to scrap it. I've had moments where I didn't know which genre I was going to go for. I've been unsure, and the worst hurdle to get over, which I'm still dealing with to this day because I wasn't consistent enough with my recording, is battling with not liking how I sound in a recording. I like how I sound in a space. Like, I like that.
But many musicians don't like what they sound like on CD. It's like many radio DJs don't like the way they sound. If you had to play me my show now, I'd be like, ooh, who would listen to that?
No ways.
Yeah, many people don't like the way they look on TV. That's just something you must know that many people go through.
But you see, now that's been my hindrance. Yeah. I've gone. Actually, let's wait until the voice is in better shape. And the worst part is I've kind of lost my range, and I now have to fight to get my range back because I used to have a huge range, and because I've chilled, haven't paid attention.
But wait, your man, he's also an artist.
Yes.
So why aren't you?
Oh, the pressure comes. He brings the pressure. Every time I'm like, okay, baby, I have this idea. He's like, what about music? And then I have a big potato in my throat because I have no cooking clue how I'm going to execute it. And because I've seen his career come about.
Because he was an accountant.
Yes, he was.
And then he decided, I'm going to follow my passion.
Yes.
So how do you share space with somebody who's that, like, brave
And
about
committed.
following their passion, and you just sit back and say, let's eat sushi?
It made you... Ooh, and sushi's amazing. It sort of makes you... For me, I'm proud of him, and I've been so engulfed in the moment of, you know, his wins and all those things that my mindset is so drawn to the way hip hop works. And he always has to remind me that vocalists don't have the same journey that rappers do. You won't find an indie vocalist. Like, that's a bit rare, you know, and he's like, no, consider the record company. And I've developed this resistance against record companies because indie and all of that, and I'm just like, okay, no, you know, just
Stick
look
it to
at
the
the
man.
situation. Stick it to the
Stick it
man,
to the
pretty
man.
much, yes. So now I have to look at it again, and also, you know, I am not a songwriter yet. So I would need a team to sit down and say, okay, guys, this is the production, this is how I'd like the song to go, or what I'd like it to be about. Let's jot down, and they come up, I can alter the melody. Right? But I will doubt myself 500 million times before I can put something down, if it has to be me who's writing.
Do you know what will make you more confident?
Writing.
Traveling internationally alone.
Alone?
I'm telling you now, alone. Because you said you like a challenge. The only way you can stretch yourself is to travel alone, where you don't find it weird that you're walking in the streets alone, and you're eating alone, and you're reading books, and you're doing things because it's when you decide what do you like.
I did that though.
When you were studying?
No. When I was working for O Access.
Because now you're working, and at the back of your mind, you're
You're
for
saying
work.
holiday.
When?
Yeah.
You yourself. Leave solo behind. You can fly solo here.
No. I want to travel with him. So much better when he's there. I promise you it'll be 2 days and I'll go, don't you want to fly up? I'm so bored.
So cute.
I'm so I
When are you guys getting married?
Hopefully soon.
Oh, look, you're so honest.
Yes.
Is it a conversation you guys are having?
We've had it since 3 months in.
And how long are we now? Like 5 years?
5.5 years.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Actually, wait. 5 years, 7 months today.
You could get home today and there'd be a ring inside the fridge.
That would be a terrible, terrible proposal, because I said to him, please make it great. All I need is for you to make it great, because there haven't been weddings in my family for so long.
Okay.
So it's a whole new season when it does happen.
Okay.
So for me, I'm like, I want it big. I want the tralala of
Okay.
everything.
You want the Kim Kanye Stadium, fireworks, billboard.
I could even take like some stairs in Spain, and you've got a photographer, and you've sorted out the right type of song. And see, he must think bigger than this. Or we're in Mykonos, and you've decided to do it in Mykonos.
Wait a minute, what's bigger than Mykonos? You all are going to get married on Mars.
No, I'm just saying, no, not married there, but I'm saying, you know, the engagement has to be great. But we go back and forth about decor. And there isn't necessarily a proposal just yet, but we go back and forth about decor.
How many guests?
No, he wants small because he's from a big family, and I want big because I'm from a small family. So I'm like, no, babes.
Like, who's doing the toast? Who's going to speak? Who the
he
bride?
speaks well. He's a great orator.
Okay.
So I'm like, you speak, I'll cry.
Okay.
But there must be makeup on standby.
Okay. All right. So I said 3 places in the world that you want to go.
3 places, yes.
You already said Spain and Mykonos, so you can't say those in the 3.
Okay. Come, Dineo. The first one, Bali.
Okay, Bali, nice.
Yes. Second is...
Bikini Body Girl, yes.
Paris or Saint-Tropez.
Okay. I'd say Paris, Saint-Tropez is very... Ibiza that went to a private school. Yeah.
Okay. Third is Rome. In no particular order.
You see now.
Yeah.
Rome.
Yes.
Please, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
When we leave here, just internet.
Yeah.
Just look.
Yeah.
Just look to see how much.
Can't do by myself though. Rome.
Come
Without
on.
your lover. Never. Never. You are asking me to suffer. I can't. He's like a tall glass of hot chocolate.
But I'm
And I
telling
must
you
leave him
now,
behind.
you're gonna get married and you're gonna get kids, and then you're going to regret the times where you didn't take those times alone. You're gonna be like, I just want, girl, don't act like you haven't heard your mom or your grandmother say, I just want peace and quiet.
Yeah, sure. They want peace. And I don't mind. That's the thing. You once said, was it an interview or I don't know where you said you cherish the fact that you and your partner can be quiet in the same space and not feel awkward around each other. Zotile and I do that. Zotile and I can very much be quiet in the space doing our own thing. Sikamfi.
Okay.
We can.
Okay. All right.
I miss this person after 2 hours, so.
So this is why you have to go now?
I struggle.
So is this why you have to go now?
Yeah. I have to go now.
I bet you didn't know this side of her, right?
No.
What a treat it's been spending time this entire hour with Dineo Moeketsi. I hope you found it as entertaining as I did with the stylish lady that she is, living a double life as a muse for designers Quiteria and George. Are those your people?
Those are my people.
Those are our people.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll do this again. 5 p.m. SABC 3 weekdays. Goodbye.
Cheers, bye.